Yo, it's definitely Cloud Chaser TV, man. We back up in this thing again. You dig? Hey, man, we got a very special guest online, man. Hey, man, can you introduce yourself and let them know where they can follow you at?
Man, you already know what it is, man. It's your man Richie Evans, live and direct, Mr. Arizona in the flesh. You can get me at Who Is Richie on Twitter, Facebook, all my social media sites. It's Who Is Richie. Holla at me.
Oh, for sure, man. So, like, we're gonna get into it, man. We got a lot to discuss with you, man. We're gonna go to the whole 50 Cent, Jimmy Henchman, the
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
This the whole G Unit, then it turned to G Unit not, right? But
right, right.
let's just give them a quick background, man. We appreciate you for being on the platform, man. Salute, appreciate that. Shout out on Wrong Kind East Podcast, man. If y'all ain't already sub, y'all need to go ahead and sub up right now. You dig? Hey, man.
Man,
Brazy K, salute, fam. My boy be putting a lot of this shit together. You hear me? But
real life.
let's get to it, man. Like, so when it comes down to like your upbringing, you know, a lot of people, you know, they know your name because I put up the post earlier. They already knew who you was. So when you talking Juice, they know Juice. You know, originally from you said Philadelphia in Arizona. So could you talk
Yeah, yeah,
about like that, like when you left Philadelphia and went into Arizona?
yeah, man. Like I said, I was born out, out east. I was born in Philly, you know what I mean? And I ended up moving out to Arizona. You know what I'm saying? My father was in the military, so we moved out. Um, half of my family stayed out east and half of my family stayed out west. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, yeah, we planted our roots out in Phoenix, but every summer, every Christmas, I would go back east to see my grandma, see my uncles and everybody like that. So I was still able to get the best of both worlds. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Also I think that was a solid thing, and for me that was very beneficial, especially for the music aspect, because at that time, you know, I want to say, the West kind of just had its own identity, was just like, the low lows, the 6/4s, and everything was, melodic. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's what it was for. And the East, everything was just known for like just bars. You know what I'm saying? And metaphors. You know what I'm saying? So, um, by me coming from the East and planting my roots in the West, I think that I was blessed to have the best of both worlds, my nigga, and that's what kind of helped build me who I am today, Juice, aka Richie Evans.
Yeah. So what age we talking in? Like what year, if you can remember?
Oh shit, I moved from Philly when I was 5,
Okay.
and you know what I mean. Like I said, from 5 to 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? I was out west. We ended up moving a couple other places because, like I said, my father was in the military, but we ended up coming back to Arizona and planting our roots. So, majority of my life and childhood, you know what I'm saying, was out west. You know what I mean?
Got you, got you, got you, got you, got you. So like coming up, like talk about like how was you like a teenager, man? Like growing up, I would say the first signs of so I would say jumping off the porch. Like what age was you?
I was shit, to keep it all the way solid with you, I was probably about 13, 14, man. It was that era where, especially on the West, you know what I'm saying, NWA, Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying, a lot of cats who was really, coming from that Boys in the Hood era. You know what I mean? Minister
Right.
Society out, you know what I'm saying? A lot of those movies and a lot of those things was very influential in a lot of niggas' lives from the West. Um, at that particular time, you know what I'm saying? One of my favorite, MCs of all time is Ice Cube. You know what I mean? He went ahead and laid the foundation and blueprint down. And I was so memorized by him, my nigga, like I wanted to follow that moniker. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And again, like I said, man, growing up, of course, you make a lot of wrong decisions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you really, really step into some of the gangbang life. You kind of step into the hustling life. You're really trying to find your niche on really, what you was about. You know what I mean? Really trying to really solidify who your first and last name is. You know what I'm saying? So niggas can really, really, really respect that platform. You know what I mean?
Right.
So as time went on, me just kind of putting in my little work, doing this, doing that. I really fell in love with music. You know what I'm saying? Music was like a real outlet for me. Like I used to fight a lot back in the day. You know what I mean? I was just an angry kid, trying to find his lane. But I used music as an outlet. I
Mm-hmm.
used to go to anger management, my nigga, for years. You know what I mean? I never told kids about it because I didn't want niggas to think I was crazy. You know what
Right.
I mean? So, if you end up hearing a kid in junior high to high school going to anger management, talking about he going to see a therapist, everybody get to talking like that nigga crazy. So I went for a while, man, and um, they really helped me turn my anger into the music. You know what I'm saying? She was like, "Yo, why don't you channel your anger elsewhere?" So I just started, rapping, freestyling, carrying a book with me. You know what I mean? Kind of writing down my emotions and thoughts, and I really started getting super, super nice with the shit, and it really just started becoming a thing. You know what I mean? And back then, you know what I'm saying, it was big on reality rap, which you saw. You know what I'm saying? You saw the hustlers, you saw the dealers, you saw the clean, the niggas who was really getting money. You saw, you know, everything that was around you. I was just trying to create that and put that, into my own verbiage and in my own visual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As time went by, you know what I mean. I really started gaining a local respect when it came to the music. You know what I mean? Like I was running around battling niggas, you know what I'm saying, in front of barbershops, slinging, tapes for $10 to $15. And, I was big on gaining my respect on kind of who I was. And which ultimately kind of led to how I end up meeting the game and signing with him, you know what I'm saying, a few years,
Yeah.
a few years later. Um,
So let me hold on before you get there. Like, did you have like growing up? You saying like the with the music and everything? Like, was it any I have to ask, like, was it any gang influence? Because we know Black Wall Street for being a label full of blood. So was it any gang influence in your early beginning before you even got to the game?
No, for sure, for sure. I mean, like I said, in Phoenix, people got to tend to realize, especially out west, it's a blood and crip. The West is full with bloods, crips, and essays. You know what I'm saying? So, and especially from where I'm from in like Arizona, you know what I mean. You got a culture of that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I mean, like I said, especially out west, a lot of your cousins be Pirus. Half your other cousins, you know what I'm saying? They from the '60s. They from, whatever. You know what I
Right.
mean? Amens wherever. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it was just for me a lot of my upbringing was just around, a lot of bloods because that was just the block I was from. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like on that block was just, it wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad as niggas think. You know what I'm saying? At that particular time point, because I knew a lot of bloods and a lot of Crips, my nigga, who really respected each other and got money together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, eventually, shit start getting a little bit left when the rules and principles kind of start going out the window. You know what I'm saying? But back then with me a little bit, man, everybody still had a keen respect. You know what I'm saying, and really knew how to make it move the way it should be.
Gotcha. So like going into the game, so when you meet in the game, now you've been pursuing your record career, like you said, you've been slanging CDs, you the first one out there, with the hustle when it comes to this music business, they call it out the trunk, right?
Facts.
Um so with that being said, like how did you meet Game and what year was this? Like going into that. That was your first record deal, correct?
Yeah, yeah. My first
Yeah.
record deal. I got signed in 2009. What happened was, man, I was leaving the studio, man, and I just found out that I was having a kid, and I was just kind of mentally fucked up. So I told my engineer, I said, man, just burn me a disc so I can listen through it. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel the day session. And he was like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, cool. So on the way to the crib, I wanted to stop by and have a drink or two just to kind of get my thoughts in line. But when I pulled up, I seen there was a Lambo out front. So I was like, man, somebody in here. I don't know who in here, but somebody in here.
Right.
I walked in there a little bit, and then my man was like, yo, Game and Swiss Beats in here. And I was like, oh yeah, that's what's up. So I go to the bar, man, get me a drink. And when I pat my pocket to pull out my wallet to get my money, I felt I still had that disc in my back pocket that I asked the engineer to burn me. You know what I mean? So I go get a drink. I look at the disc and I walk up to the VIP section. And his manager comes down and his security and people. And I was like, hey, listen, I'm not really trying to cause no commotion and nothing. I'm just a young nigga really trying to push my line. I was like, you think I'd be cool if I walk up and get his disc the game? He was like, you know what? I don't think it's the time, little homie. But if you give it to me, I'll make sure he get it.
That's his manager, right?
That's his manager at the time. Now, at this particular point, you know, as a young nigga who really been on the mission and on the move, you know what I'm saying, to kind of get his name and weight up. We all been there before. Where we done gave a dish to a manager or gave it to a security guard and it never got back to the person it was supposed to get to.
Mm-hmm.
So the type of feeling that I was at that particular time, just hearing like, yo, I'm about to have a newborn baby, my nigga, I was in grind mode. You know what I'm saying? I was like, shit, I got to make something happen, nigga. I'm about to have a kid. So, I told Buddy, I said, all due respect, bro. I was like, I'm not here to try to get an autograph or be no groupie, my nigga. I just want to make sure he get the disc. And he was like, nah, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Just give it to me. Well, Game gets up from the bar. Gets up from the couch and walks over to the bar. So when Game leave, everybody moves with him. Security, management. So I just jump in the VI. So I walk up. So as they moving, I grab the disc and I walk up to him, and I go to tap him on his shoulder. Security snatched me like aggressively, and I know the and the source kind of made it seem like I was in there just wrecking up shit, causing a commotion. That really wasn't what it was. It was like, listen, I was trying to hand homie the disc. His security guard ended up grabbing my arm in a forceful manner. And as anybody who touch any man aggressively, you know what I'm saying, is going to automatically jump back and fight back mode. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for me, it was an automatic reaction. My nigga just bing, 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 hit his bodyguard. His other bodyguard snatched me up by the throat. They wrapped me up right quick. Game turned around looking at me like, who is this nigga in fight back mode? And I just told him, I said, look, Game, all due respect, I didn't come here to cause no commotion. I found out that I was having a kid today. I said, I got one disc on me, homie. I said, I've been through this shit before. If you take this disc and throw it away, I'll be cool. At least I know you got it. You know what I'm saying? And he took the disc, my nigga. They, held me for about a good 5 minutes until him and Swiss Beats walked out. I see them walk in the Lambo. And the next day I got a phone call talking about this is the kid Game and a plane ticket. And I was on my way to LA. Boom.
Wow. Just like that.
Just like that.
Now, so like, okay, so now you get this plane ticket.
Right.
You hop off the plane, like you already came across the phone call, you got all that. Like, what's your first, you know what I'm saying? Like your feeling when you hit that, like you come in LA, right?
Yeah.
So you get off that plane in that airport.
Man, I had a million emotions running through my body. At first I kind of was like, yo, what if this nigga playing? Or like, what if nothing comes out of it? You know what I'm saying? Secondly, it was kind of like, if this nigga asks you to come to LA, nigga, and he give you a minute to spit, you better lose your motherfucking mind. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I knew that would be the defining moment for me. You know what I mean? So as soon as I land, he picked me up from the airport. Nigga got the brand new S550. I remember hopping in that motherfucker, my nigga, and he was like, what's up? I was like, what's up? Got in the car. He's playing some of his album. He was like, we're going to go by my crib and drop off your bags. We're going to head straight to the studio. So mind you, my nigga, like, I go from being a fan of this nigga, you know what I'm saying, and really wanting to get in my music to getting a plane ticket and really, getting in this nigga car going directly straight to, the studio to build. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We get to the studio, man. Kanye West is at the board, and Common is sitting back there. It's that walk in and Game get to get with Kanye, working on some music or whatever, and Game finds a beat, but he takes it to the other room to write. And then so while he doing that, Kanye is actually at the board playing some records. He just playing beats. So the whole time when I was on my way to LA, I'm on the plane writing me something hard, you know what I mean? Because I know he gonna ask me to spit. So I'm trying to memorize it while Kanye's skimming through these beats. You know what I'm saying? He over here. So I'm skimming through them, and I got my head down and I'm shaking. And he asked me, he goes, yo, you got something to this? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, go in there. Now, Kanye said this, mind you, my nigga. Kanye said this. He's like, go in there. So I knew right then and there, two things got to happen. When I go in here, I really got to spit that shit. If I can get Kanye's head to bob, I'm doing my job.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? If I don't, yes, mate, take the first plane ticket back to the city, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I go in there, my nigga, and he playing the beat, and I get to spilling. And I see that nigga head nod. And I was like, okay. Game come in maybe 25 seconds later. He's standing at the board, but Game is a different type of emotional nigga. He shows no emotion. He blank-faced. And I'm like, man, I got to get this nigga Game head to bob. If I can get Game head to bob, then I'm on. Nigga, he didn't bob his head, but he stopped the music. And he told me to come out. And I was like, shit, he about to send me home, my nigga. I walk out. The nigga jump in, and the nigga end up laying the hook on the shit I just did. And then he came out and he was like, "Young, and that shit is fire." He called his assistant. The nigga Damo came through. The nigga had a bag full of Black Wall Street chains, and the nigga threw me one. And he was like, "Let's just get busy." And that's kind of the story, kind of how that shit started with me being, you know what I'm saying, one of the first ever Black Wall Street artists. Well, I was the first. So there was two artists there before me. There was a kid named Young Life, and there was a kid named Clyde Carson out the Bay. But each of them were brought by other people. The reason why I was so fully effective with Black Wall because I was the first artist that Game picked. You know what I'm saying? Like his manager didn't pick me or his friend didn't pick me. You know, I was handpicked by him. You know what I mean? So that was a big accomplishment within itself. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's shit. Shit. I already know. So, them other two artists pretty much got, you know, it was Bronco on by like manager or someone tell them about
Right.
them, but you was
Right.
particularly picked because the simple fact you gave him that CD and you know
Right.
whatever you told, like what you said, similar to what you told him, but I'm sure it was a little bit more. And
Yeah.
whatever you told him, it was shit heartfelt and he felt it. You know what I mean?
Real
But
shit.
CT, salute, man. Y'all salute everybody in the chat, man. Y'all share this on Facebook, please. Hey,
What's up?
so now going into that, like, so now you got Kanye West, right? You got all these, like, I'm pretty sure it's major producers around because you're talking the documentary, correct?
Right. So actually the documentary was done. So now Game was already 5 million, 6 million records sold at that point. Now Interscope gave them the, you know, distribution deal to sign artists.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now I wanted to follow the you know, G Unit moniker at this point. You know what I'm saying? He was like, shit, let me go find a couple of artists and let me sign them and put them out like Lloyd Banks and Yayo. And you know what I'm saying? He wanted to, you know, he wanted to follow the 50s moniker for himself. You know what I'm saying? Which was smart. At that particular time, we was working on his second album. Literally at that time, we just started working on The Doctor's Advocate at that point.
Got you. So the second album. So like, okay, so going into the second album, you know, matter of fact, that's why Kanye was there because he got that hit on there, right? On that second album. Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the video, like I said, you know, everything from One Blood to, you know, all that shit. My nigga, we you know, collectively got in that lab and really got to putting that shit together on everything.
So so with this going on now, you know, he puts out this second album. And now, you know, if I'm not mistaken, this is when the, you know, saying the deal come with the shoes, you know, saying the G-Unit. And then he starts to come at 50 Cent and it's a back and forth thing. You was of course you was around, but what type of situation did that have on you?
Man, that was, you know, that situation alone affected not just me, it affected everybody on the label. You know what I mean? Everybody on the label at that point. You know what I'm saying? I mean, as far as just Game was 5-6 million records sold at that point. You know what I'm saying? He was, you know, his star status was super up. Him and 50 really had real life beef, and it wasn't like some you know, some street personal shit. It was over business, of course. You know what I mean? He ended up, you know, truthfully speaking, you know, Game just was a young nigga who he got offered a contract and situation that, you know, he felt that he maybe can get out of in a, you know, short amount of time, but it wasn't that. You know, he's putting all this work in, he's selling all these, you know, records, and then it comes back to the point to where I think that the percentages just didn't add up for him. You know, he, you know, like I said, Game putting in the work, doing all the groundwork. You know, he being the artist, but when that check got cut to come back, you know, it was a percentage to Dr. Dre, a percentage to, you know, Jimmy Iovine. So it was a percentage to 50 Cent. It was a percentage to Jimmy Henchman. It was a percentage to, I forgot, he had another co-manager at the time. I forgot his name. You know, he had a percentage too. You know, you take that alone right then and there, my nigga, that's you know, 5 people at, you know, say 15-20%. That's damn near 100% of the pie. You know what I mean? Shout out, you know what I mean, Sirens 80 for rolling. Yeah, that's the Kanye joint. That's love. But yeah, like, you know, that's 100% of the pie, my nigga. So you just sold all these records and everybody get they get their money. Everybody get millions, but the nigga who really put the work in, you look at your check and your shit ain't adding up. Of course, that's gonna cause some friction in the building. And
Yeah,
especially
no,
you take a nigga, especially when you take a nigga who's straight off the curb.
facts.
That nigga straight off the block with it. You know what I'm saying? So of course, and he was young. So, of course he didn't really, I want to say, maybe conduct himself in a manner, professionally, business-wise, that a lot of niggas wanted him to be. You know what I'm saying? But when you also dealing with real gangsters too, let's not mistake. 50 a gangster too, my nigga. You know what I mean? And when you got those two going head to head, and 50 kind of being the CEO of the label you signed to, my nigga can shut your water off whenever he wants to. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's kind of where shit start getting personal, where that budget start getting cut. Like, okay, nigga don't want to listen, I'm gonna cut this budget. So when he cut the budget for him, it cut the budget for everybody up under that. And respectfully, shout out to Jimmy Henchman. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy being games manager and being against the anti-tycoon too. You know what I'm saying? He came to the table and made sure that he can, you know what I'm saying, give the brand everything it needed to kind of sustain through that
Yeah.
term.
So like when you say that, like, so he did, like, it was a motion for him to come in and give it, send that president when it came to the East Coast, since he was going, the West was pretty much going at the East Coast at this time, right?
Right. A little
So
bit
like,
after that.
Jimmy coming along is more so, like, do you think it was more so like, just to let them know that it ain't no tension between the West and the East?
Jimmy been managing Game No beforehand. You know what I'm saying?
Before the beef with 50 Cent?
Yeah. Before the beef, Jimmy managed him on the first album. You know what I'm saying? So, but Jimmy and 50, like I said, I don't really speak on shit I necessarily don't know, but Jimmy and 50, kind of had issues prior to Game anyway. You know what I'm saying? Being from New York and running from the Supreme Team and all types of other shit. You know what I'm saying? There was like a lot of things that they already had brewing. So once you add that and add what's really going on with Game, you know what I'm saying? Now tensions is really, really heightened. Like now, nigga, this shit ain't about, nigga. We on tour for 6 months, nigga. And I'm in a bulletproof vest every day. And we gotta have bulletproof Suburbans. 50 been on the bulletproof Suburban shit. Now Game got bulletproof Suburbans. Like now it's gone from let's make music and break this bread professionally, corporately, to now that you're dealing with two real street niggas that really got a lot of influence in these streets, that anything can happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
You got Jimmy Henchman as well, who was a real known tycoon as well. That's with all the shit. So, it was a real intense situation at that point, bro. Real life.
Got you. So like, so moving into like 50 Cent, like, did you ever have any run-ins? Like, did y'all camp ever run into 50 Cent on tour or something like that?
Yeah, we had a couple run-ins. I remember we went to New York. They had us at BET 106 in Park. And I don't know whoever thought it was the greatest idea, but they booked us to do 106 in Park. 50 was there at 106 in Park, and they booked Fat Joe the same day too. So it was a lot of tension in that building. You know what I mean? Everybody was trying to keep everybody at different odds and different eras in the spot. I remember we ran into Young Buck one night in New York as well. We had a photo shoot at AOL, and they had us performing upstairs, and Young Buck was doing a photo shoot downstairs. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a lot of times where niggas really crossed paths where the tension was about to be automatically what it was.
Yeah, was you there with the famous Hot 97 incident?
I wasn't there for that one, but I was there for when we went to the radio station and Tony Yayo and his man slapped Jimmy Henchman's son.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We was leaving the radio station, and I don't know who had a brilliant idea to book G Unit right after us, but we ended up jumping in the van and leaving. And we asked him if he wanted, to jump in the whip, and he was like, "Nah, my dad's office is right here. Czar Entertainment was like damn near right across the street." So he was like, "I'll walk." So we ended up getting in the van and we going back to the hotel. 15, 20 minutes later, nigga, everybody's, phones is on fire. And, they said that, G-Unit pulled up and Tony Yayo and I forgot the other nigga's name, you know what I'm saying? They ended up slapping little Henchman, and that nigga was a kid at the time. You know what I mean?
Under 18.
Yeah, that nigga was like, at the time, I think my nigga was only like 16, 15. You know what I mean? He really wasn't grown, So yeah, man, I mean, there's been some stories, man.
No doubt, no doubt. So like with all this going on, man, like is this like moving forward, like what type of relationship a year or two after that when
Yeah,
you first signed into the Black Wall Street
yeah.
Records, or what was the feeling then? How was you feeling towards the label?
When everything first popped off, my nigga, we was booming. We was probably one of the biggest, the biggest teams out besides, Dipset, G Unit. Who else, man? T.I. had his Grand Hustle shit cracking down there in ATL. Early on everything was moving, but like I said, when 50 and the label and everything kind of just started collapsing, and they ended up cutting that check, we all were still in our contracts. Of course, we wasn't going to jump ship on Big Homie because there's a loyalty and a sense of brotherhood when a nigga give you an opportunity to really showcase your skills on a worldwide platform. You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody held it down as much as we could, until it got to the point to where a lot of us had some other opportunities to go directly to Interscope or go directly to Universal or go directly to Warner Brothers. So at that particular time, man, a few of us really just got to chopping it up with him, and he gave us our release, and it was like, man, I don't want to stop none of my young niggas from getting their money. Y'all know it's still love. Y'all niggas know it's still Black Wall forever, and it's love.
No, right. No, 100%. No. So like so now with the name change, like what made you do the name change? Because if people don't know, you no longer go by Juice, you go by Richie Evans. So how did
Yeah.
that?
For me, man, it was growth. I felt like, you know, you know, to me, Game at that point, you know what I'm saying, Game was a tycoon as well. You know what I'm saying? I mean, his name holds a lot of weight and value. And I just felt like in order for me to really solidify who I am and, create my brand and really create my legacy, I had to come from out under that, under that umbrella. You know what I mean? I feel like, everybody who knew me, Game stamped me so hard and so fast. I felt like I never had my own identity. It was always, yo, that's Juice. That that young nigga nice. That's Game artist, which was great at the time. But it eventually comes to the point where you want niggas to really fuck with you off of your own merit, your own, credibility, your own
Right.
credential. You know what I'm saying? So for me, with everything that went on with, Jimmy Henchman, you know what I'm saying? And everything kind of collapsing and, Game leaving Interscope and, going over to do his thing. And, I felt like in order for me to make my way, I had to make a clean slate for myself. You know what I mean? And that was the reason for it.
No doubt, no doubt. So like now you got a label situation or what?
Yeah. I got a you know what I'm saying, the name of my company is the Evans Administration. We just did a situation with Universal Ingrooves over there. Young MA is under there, Royce the 5'9's under there.
Hmm.
I'm under there, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in a situation right now where I'm able to, be more involved in my career, you know what I'm saying, as well as setting up the foundations for a couple young niggas, you know what I'm saying, that I want to bring up in due time after I really solidify this, this platform. Right now we got the new record with me and the boy Mano called The Purge that's available on all the platforms right now. Make sure y'all check that out. I got a record called Overdose on Arrogance that's available right now. We just dropped the video. The World Star, they premiered it, did all that. Shout out to them. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
we
So
have to get work.
the newest single is the one with Mano and it's called The Purge, correct?
Yeah,
Y'all go check that out.
yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. So like you got a video coming out for that or what?
Yeah, actually, you know what I'm saying? Me and Mano talked the other day, man. This whole COVID shit kind of really put a damper in in the whole, game plan. You know what I'm saying? We end up dropping a street record, putting it out. We started getting some noise from it. And then, like I said, COVID hit and, we really couldn't do what we wanted to do. I mean, I know everything ain't opened up 100% yet, but right now is the perfect time where we about to schedule this probably within the next 2 weeks. I'm going to shoot out to NY, man. We're going to make it a movie out there. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
really make it do what it got to do.
Dope, dope, dope. So like, let me ask you, since you brought up the track with Mano, and
Yeah.
he's featured on it. What's your relationship with him? Did you have a relationship with him from the beginning, like when you first got in the game, or
Well, how it happened with Mano is I met Mano one time before, and then I ended up like I said before this record dropped, The Purge. I dropped a record called Overdose on Arrogance, and he heard it. You know what I mean? And he was just like, young nigga, I fuck with this. Like I ain't really too into the weirdo shit. You know what I mean? He was like, but you one of the few young niggas I'm really hearing you right now. And he was like, anything you need from me, I got you. So I was like, my
right?
nigga, like I said, as time went on, the whole COVID shit hit. And I was in the studio, working, and I was just speaking on it. And I was like, I gotta find a nigga who can really embody that feeling. You know what I'm saying? Mano always been a nigga who stand on a certain type of integrity and loyalty, as well as being a solid one. So I felt that he would be able to, you know, bring that same type of emotion, you know what I mean, on that record. And like I said, I talked to him, sent it to him. My nigga sent it 24 hours later, and that shit is tough, man. Super tough.
No, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt, man. So like, we definitely want to, what I'm saying. I don't want to give them everything right now. We got a lot going on, like far as what we just told them. So I want them to be able to listen up and
Yeah,
get some type of understanding, and definitely go check out that music.
yeah,
I
man.
was listening to that joint earlier, so that's going to be hard, right? But
Yeah,
I'm sure the video. What I'm saying is the video going to be a movie. But Juice had his homie. What is it? Juice, his homie. He recorded with Eastwood.
yeah.
Would have been biopic. They were born in the era before history will remember them better than they were treated. Salute, MS.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out the boy Eastwood. You know what I'm saying? Eastwood was he was a part of Black Wall Street early on as well. He played he was in the Tupac biopic actually.
Yeah.
And he was in the movie All Eyes on Me, you know what I'm saying? And he Game really has some young niggas that was ready, man. Like I said, I hope, I wish one, I wish one day, there may be a biopic or something about that, but I wish it all come out because he has some niggas, boy, that was ready.
Yeah, no doubt. So, do you have a relationship, ongoing relationship with Game to this day?
Yeah. Like, I told you, man, for me, I always feel that I will forever be indebted to Game because he gave me an opportunity to be known on a worldwide stage. And like I said, there is a loyalty and there is a brotherhood that I will always respect with that. You know what I mean? Like I said, I talk to him every now and then. I mean, every time I go to LA, I make sure I tap in with him, check on his well-being. He got a lot of shit going on right now with his business and life thing. But, that's, even though things didn't work out the way that, all of us wanted to, my nigga, he's still my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And I always tell him, I was like, man, little monkey turned gorilla. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to, watch what you did right and wrong and put it into my situation and try to make it a little bit more better than what you did. And if I do get that, my nigga, trust me, I'm gonna come back and show that extra love.
No, 100. So let me ask you one more question before we get up out of here. Game got a new manager, Whack 100.
Yeah.
Like, do you have a relationship with him? Was it a relationship even back then? I know he came on early on. Game
Yeah.
told the story with the 10,000, I think it was, or something like that.
Yeah. Whack been around for, what I mean, a minute. You know what I'm saying? Whack the big homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a lot of people get Whack wrong. You know what I'm saying? Even me early on. You know what I'm saying? Being a young G, I got him wrong at one point because he presses the line, but his loyalty and his loyalty and his respect for who he fuck with is unmatched. You know what I'm saying? With him, my nigga, no matter what, right, wrong, or indifferent, he gonna be by you, nigga, sink, swim, or nothing. You know what I mean? So shout out to OG Whack 100, my nigga. He all, like I said, he always been a stand up for me. Anything I ever needed from homie, he always came through in the clutch for me. So salute the Whack 100.
No, salute, man. Is it anything? Because like I said, I want to definitely have you back up here again, man. Hopefully, after you drop the because the album ain't out, right?
Now we draw. Actually, like I said, we pushed it back a little bit due to COVID.
Right.
We work on the release date right now, man. Just like I said, man. I got a new single dropping, featuring Rick Ross. You know what I mean? It's called "Can't Knock the Hustle." That's gonna be the first single from my
Can't Knock the Hustle with Rick Ross.
Yeah, it's that's gonna be the first single dropping off my project called "Can't Knock the Hustle." Um, like I said, even though the album is done, man, I'm still working and putting these, pieces together. But in the meantime, like I said, I really don't got an official release date because COVID kind of fucked it up a little bit. But like I said, man, this shit gonna drop here pretty soon. Hopefully, the end of August, beginning of September. I'm gonna make sure I still drop some great music within the process. Um, like I said, get the purge, get Overdose on Arrogance on Spotify, all your platforms. Holla at me on social media. And yeah, man, make sure you get me back on, man, so we can really, really tap into it a little bit more next time. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So what's your social media one more time for us?
It's Who Is Richie?
Who is Richie?
Yeah.
Dope, man. Y'all definitely go pick up everything you got going on, man. Good brother, he blessing our platform. And like if you just now tuning in, I suggest you hit the rewind because it was a lot said. But what we gonna do in the next episode, the stuff that was said, we're gonna go into a little bit more detail and break it down. You feel me? But you know what I'm saying? Y'all see what's going on, man. Man, we salute you, man. We appreciate you being on this platform, man. It's definitely Cloud Chaser TV, man. Salute Brazy K. Salute the Wrong Kind East Podcast, man. Let me put that up there for you. Yeah, y'all go sub them up on YouTube as well as Instagram. You feel me? I believe it's the same on Twitter, man. Salute, man.
Man.